Hey, what's up everybody? Snowy back with another video, and today what I have for you is a comprehensive enemy guide on the best ways to take out every Archean in the game. I hope this helps a little bit and maybe you find something you didn't know already. For more content like this in the future, please consider dropping a like and subbing as it helps a ton, but let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So first up we have the Grunt enemies, and these are obviously the lowest tier enemies in the game, and they're going to be super easy for you guys to take out. Um, my only tip really is to go for headshots and just make sure you're using suppressed weapons to not make them mad and getting those headshots in, just like that. Super simple. So Grunts obviously shouldn't be giving you guys any trouble, but just thought I would still cover them anyway. So second, what I have for you guys is how to best kill the spiker enemies. There's nothing too crazy about these enemies, but the one thing you guys do need to note is when they get upset, what they do is they cover their face to shoot at you. So when they're shooting at you, the key to taking them out is just to shoot the body, and I'm going to demonstrate that here. So we have a spiker right here. I'm going to make him mad. And when he starts shooting at me, he's going to start shooting and he's going to cover his face. So the key is just to shoot the body at that point. You won't be able to get any headshots. So that's how you guys are going to best be able to take out spikers. So next up what I have for you is breachers and bloaters. The concepts for these two enemies are exactly the same and they function in the same way. The one important first thing to note is that if you have something like a paralysis grenade or a stun grenade, you can use that to assassinate these guys, and even if you assassinate them, they're not going to blow up. But the one key to breachers and bloaters is that if you shoot them in the body without shooting the sack on their back, they're not going to blow up. So like if I get leg shots, he didn't blow up. Another thing is, if they're running at you, you can melee them to knock them back, and then they're gonna blow up away from you. The melee is not gonna make them blow up immediately, so that's a super important thing to note as well. My final tip for breachers and bloaters is that if they run up to you and start to blow up, all you have to do is run, and then because the explosion isn't immediate, so you guys have plenty of time to run, just make sure if they get super close up on you, you don't immediately shoot at them or anything, because then you are going to damage yourself. It's a delayed explosion, so that's just something else important to jot down for you guys. Next up we have the sower enemies. These guys crawl around and leave these mines on the floor, and if you step on the mines by accident, they're going to blind you. So make sure you guys are always on the lookout for these little red mines on the floor. And these guys crawl around with their heads blocking all of the damage you're going to send their way. The best way to kill them is to get shots in their back if they don't know you're there. Or if they're crawling, you can actually go prone, and this is going to open up clear shots to their weak point, which is in the middle of your chest. So for example of this video, I'm going to make him mad, and you can see his weak point in the chest. He's going to scream, and then he's going to start crawling. So I'm going to run from him real quick, and then I'm going to go prone, and you can very easily shoot the weak point, just like that. So that's the best way to take him out, and my tips for if one is mad and you don't have like a stun grenade, for instance. But obviously you still can completely paralyze him and then just melee him. That's an option too. So either way you guys want to do it, but just make sure you keep the prone tip in mind. Next up we have the rooter enemies, and now in my opinion we're starting to get into the tougher tier of enemies, and this is where I recommend that you always run a primary weapon with no suppressor and a secondary weapon with a suppressor. So obviously I have a suppressor on right now just to show you guys for this video, but normally you're going to want to run no suppressor on your primary weapon for the 40% extra damage. But Really, my only tip for the rooters is to shoot them in the body with a non-suppressed weapon for the most damage possible, or to just stun them and assassinate them. Also, there's a lot of gadgets in the game that are able to stun as well, such as Smoke's grenade that I have right here, and you're going to be able to easily get an assassination on these guys. Actually, my nade just went ahead and killed him, but there's really no crazy tips for those guys because they don't have a weak point. You just have to shoot them in the body continuously or assassinate them, but overall they don't have too high of a health pool, and I'm sure you guys don't have too many issues with rooters. So next up, what we have is Tormentors. Once again, just make sure you're not running a suppressor on your primary weapon, because the best way to take out these guys is either just full-on headshots with a non-suppressed weapon, or stunning them once again and getting a assassination. So either way is going to be your best bet for these guys. In Maelstrom, you're going to want to be team shotting them in the head with your teammates with no suppressor, and that's going to be your most efficient way to take them out. But for this video, I'm just going to show you guys a stun assassination. So I believe he was right over here somewhere, maybe?
Stay frosty.
Oh yeah, right here. So just stun him and melee, assassinate him. One shot, one kill, super easy for you guys, and that's pretty much it. So this is the Sludge enemy, and these guys are either going to be on the ceiling or on the floor. It's important to not run underneath them, because then they're going to drop down, and once you kill them on the floor, they split into 3 more sludges. But if you kill them on the ceiling, they don't spawn more enemies. So just make sure you're killing them on the ceiling whenever possible, and then you're not going to have to deal with their offsprings of splitting into 3 more. So just shoot them on the ceiling and you'll be good to go. Next up, we have the Lurker enemy. These guys are the ones that cover their faces, and they also are allowed to cloak themselves and cloak their alien friends. So for instance, if you take a look right here, this guy, where is he? He had cloaked his friend right there, so I'm gonna go ahead and take out his friends, and the Lurker is right here. The best way to take them out is just with one headshot before they scream, so I could have shot him right there, but you can also assassinate him. So I can stun him and assassinate him, or I can just one tap the head. Boom.
Reload.
Nothing too crazy. Just make sure you guys are looking out for invisible people, and you'll know a Lurker is what you're dealing with. So just go for the one headshot, or go ahead and assassinate them with a stun grenade or any gadget that can take them out quickly. So that's my best tips for the Lurker enemies. So next up, we have one of the harder enemies in the game. This is going to be a Smasher, and they are super brutal if they get up close on you, and the only weak point they have is the back. So one thing you could do is have your friend distract them while you get a ton of shots on their weak point on their back. But honestly, the best way to take them out, and pretty much how you're going to want to be taking them out every time, is make sure no matter what operator you're running, you have at least one stun ability, whether it's your actual operator ability, like Capital's smoke bolts, for instance, or do you just run a smoke grenade, stun grenade, or paralysis grenade. So you're always going to want to have some type of stunning ability on your character, in my opinion. But this is how you're going to do it. You're just going to stun him, and then you're just, oh, I messed up, don't do that, but you're just going to stun him, and then run behind him and melee him. This is going to take him out in one shot and make your life a heck of a lot easier. So that's the best way to take out Smashers. Finally on this list, we have the Apex enemy. This is definitely the toughest enemy in the game, and he's gonna spawn more enemies as soon as you shoot him and make him mad. So the key to the Apex enemy is just making sure you and your team all have no suppressors on your guns, and you're gonna do exactly what I do in a second. You're just gonna stun him and then all go to town with as many headshots as humanly possible. He can't be assassinated So that 40% damage with no suppressors and all of you damaging him is going to be your best bet. And that's pretty much the only tip possible for him. So this is what you're going to do. You're just going to... So just like this, stun, many headshots as humanly possible. And I promise if you have a suppressed or a non-suppressed weapon and so is your team, you guys are going to be able to destroy that guy just like that, super quick. Not any issues whatsoever. So that's how you kill Apexes. I hope you all enjoyed and figured out something you didn't know before. I know most of you guys probably knew all this stuff already, but hopefully you learned at least one tip or trick, and also this is a great video for beginners as well, so just please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as it helps a ton, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Snowy out.